we deal with issues of privacy, probably 90% of the population doesn't care as much about their personal privacy. They're sharing information on Facebook. They have pictures of their kids online that they share. They're not everybody necessarily goes into the Facebook privacy controls and locks things down. But the point about privacy, I think, is that it has to come down to a personal choice. We live in a democratic society. There are certain democratic values that we have, and the idea that the state, as an example, would have unfettered access to information about your private life and how you live your private life, it's just not something that's acceptable, particularly here in North America. Other places around the world have varying degrees of levels of privacy, different ideas about privacy. Privacy in China is viewed in a very different way than privacy here in North America. The difference, however, is you have a personal choice to share your information, and the government doesn't just have unfettered access to everything. In China, there's much more unfettered access that the state has to your communications in general. And that changes the dynamic. And it's not so much that, maybe you even trust your government. You have nothing to hide from your government. But what about other governments that would like to break into those systems and use the surveillance collected from within a country's own environment for some other ulterior purpose or motive? What if criminals can access the information that governments collect? What if criminals could access those surveillance networks and have unfettered access to your private information? These are the complicating factors that I think come into play that we have to seriously consider. And that's why I think that privacy is important. And I think that companies who develop technology need to be much more mindful of how to build privacy into a system. Today we demand from our vendors good security, that I'm using a piece of software that, I'm not going to get compromised by using the software, but there still isn't quite the same level of commitment to developing technology that has good privacy controls.